Encyclopedia of Electronic Medical Terminologies. Part 3. Human Physiology. Introduction. Our bodies consist of a number of biological systems that carry out specific functions necessary for everyday living. The body is formed of group of systems. Each system formed of group of organs. Each organ formed of group of tissues. Each tissue formed of group of cells. Body system. Biological system, organs, tissues, cells. The basic living unit of the body is the cell. 1. Brief of biological, organ systems. Orientation of the human body, biological systems, vocabulary. Human physiology. Biological, organ systems. 1. Circulatory system or cardiovascular system. Heart, blood vessels, arteries and veins. 2. Digestive system. Mouth, esophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestine, rectum and anus, liver and pancreas. 3. Endocrine system. 8 major glands: pituitary gland, hypothalamus, thyroid gland, parathyroid, adrenal glands, pancreas, gonads, testis, ovary. 4. Immune system. Lymph nodes and vessels, tonsils, thymus and leukocytes, white blood cells, bone marrow, spleen, lymphocytes, including B cells and T cells. 5. Lymphatic system. Cervical lymph nodes, thymus, right lymphatic duct, cistern, chyli, palatine, tonsil, axillary lymph nodes, spleen, thoracic duct, inguinal lymph nodes. 6. Muscular system. 650 muscles, 3 types of muscle: skeletal muscle, smooth muscle and cardiac muscle. 7. Nervous system. Peripheral nervous, nerves, central nervous system, brain and spinal cord. 8. Reproductive system. The male penis, testes which produce sperm. The female vagina, uterus and ovaries which produce eggs. 9. Respiratory system. Nose, trachea, diaphragm and lungs. 10. Skeletal system. 206 bones, joints, tendons, ligaments and cartilage, teeth. 11. Integumentary system. Skin, hair, nails. 12. Urinary system. 2 kidneys, 2 ureters, bladder, 2 sphincter muscles and the urethra. 2. Brief of cell physiology. Cell physiology terminologies. The cell is composed of 1. Cell membrane. 2. Protoplasm, cytoplasm, nucleus. 3. Lysosomes. 4. Paroxysomes. 5. Golgi apparatus. 6. Centrioles. 7. Endoplasmic reticulum. 8. Mitochondria. 9. Microfilaments. 10. Microtubules. Organelles. 3. Brief of blood. Blood terminologies. Blood. Physical properties. Color. Specific gravity. Viscosity. Osmotic pressure. Plasma protein. Albumin. General functions. 1. Transport function. 2. Defensive function. 3. Hemostatic function. 4. Homeostatic function. Composition. Blood is a modified connective tissue composed of 1. Cellular component, 45%. 1. Red blood corpuscles, RBCs, or erythrocyte. 2. White blood corpuscles, WBCs, or leukocytes. 3. Platelets or thrombocytes. 2. Fluid component, plasma, 55% composed of A. Water, 90%. B. Dissolved substances, 10%. 1. Plasma proteins. 2. Other organic substances as nutrients and waste products. 3. Inorganic substances. 1. Biological, organ systems in details. 1. Circulatory system or cardiovascular system. Heart, blood vessels, arteries and veins. The job of the circulatory system is to move blood, nutrients, oxygen, carbon dioxide and hormones around the body. It consists of the heart, blood vessels, arteries and veins. Circulatory system terminologies. Circulatory system consists of a number of parts. Arch of aorta, common carotid artery, subclavian artery, axillary artery, brachial artery, pulmonary vein, superior vena cava, inferior vena cava, superior mesenteric vein, common iliac artery, internal iliac artery, femoral artery, anterior tibial artery, dorsalis pedis artery, arch of foot artery, internal jugular vein, external jugular vein, subclavian vein, axillary vein, pulmonary artery, cephalic vein, superior mesenteric artery, basilic vein, renal vein, abdominal aorta, femoral vein, great saphenous vein, smaller arteries, acidosis, anemia, arteriofibrosis, blood clot, blood coagulation, blood transfusion, coronary artery, anemia, fibrosis, hematoma, hemoglobin, hyperglycemia, hypertension, hyperlipidemia, hypervitaminosis, hypocalcemia, hypertension, hypervitaminosis, ischemia, leukemia, myelotemia, plasma, platelets, portal vein, red blood cells, RBCS, renal artery, serum, sickle cell anemia, thrombus, toxemia, uremia, white blood cells, WBCS, leukocyte. Cardiovascular system. Cardiovascular system consists of a number of parts. Superior vena cava, right pulmonary vein, right atrium, tricuspid valve, endocardium, right ventricle, inferior vena cava, aorta, arch of aorta, pulmonary artery, left pulmonary vein, pulmonary valve, left atrium, aortic valve, mitral valve, left ventricle, papillary muscle, interventricular septum, myocardium, systole, diastole, angina pectoris, bradycardiac, capillaries, cardiac arrest, cardiac myopathy, congestive heart disease, coronary heart disease, coronary thrombosis, crassamentum, clot, deoxygenated blood, electrocardiogram, oxygenated blood. 2. Digestive system. Mouth, esophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestine, rectum and anus, liver and pancreas. The digestive system consists of a series of connected organs that together allow the body to break down and absorb food and remove waste. It includes the mouth, esophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestine, rectum and anus. The liver and pancreas also play a role in the digestive system because they produce digestive juices. Digestive system terminologies. Digestive system consists of a number of parts. Tongue, teeth, pharynx, esophagus, liver, gallbladder, duodenum, transverse colon, ascending colon, cecum, vermiform appendix, rectum, anus, oral cavity, salivary glands, stomach, pancreas, descending colon, jejunum, ileum, sigmoid colon, sphincter muscle of anus, small intestine, large intestine, bowel. The tongue terminologies: epiglottis, root of tongue, palatine tonsil, lingual tonsil, circumvallate papilla, filiform papilla, body of tongue, fungiform papilla. Taste zones: bitter, sour, salty, sweet. Teeth terminologies: bone, canine, crown, dentine, enamel, gum tissue, incisors, molars, neck, nerve and blood vessels, premolars, pulp cavity, root canal, acidosis, appendix, bed sore, cirrhosis, colic, duodenal ulcer, enterovirus, gallstones, hernia, indigestion, peptic ulcer, sour stomach, ulcer, vomiting. 3. Endocrine system. 8 major glands: pituitary gland, hypothalamus, thyroid gland, parathyroid gland, adrenal glands, pancreas, gonads, testis, ovary. The endocrine system consists of 8 major glands that secrete hormones into the blood. These hormones in turn travel to different tissues and regulate various bodily functions such as metabolism, growth and sexual function. Endocrine system terminologies: endocrine system consist of a number of parts: pituitary gland, hypothalamus, thyroid gland, parathyroid gland, adrenal glands, pancreas, gonads, testis, ovary, adenovirus, carotid gland, chemotherapy, compound gland, ductless gland, endocrine gland, goiter, hormonal therapy, hormone replacement therapy, hypersecretion, hypothyroidism, lacrimal gland, lymphatic gland, mammary gland, melatonin hormone, muciferous gland, mumps, parotid gland, pyloric gland, pineal gland, prostate gland, racemose gland, saccule gland, salivary gland, sebaceous gland, seminal gland, serous gland, simple gland, sudoriferous gland, suprarenal gland, sweat gland, thymus gland, TSH, tubular gland, urethral gland, vaginal gland. 4. Immune system. Lymph nodes and vessels, tonsils, thymus and leukocytes, white blood cells, bone marrow, spleen, lymphocytes, including B cells and T cells. The immune system is the body's defense against bacteria, viruses and other pathogens that may be harmful. It includes lymph nodes and vessels, tonsils, thymus and leukocytes, which are white blood cells, bone marrow, spleen, lymphocytes, including B cells and T cells. BT. Immune system terminologies. Immune system consist of a number of parts: lymph nodes and vessels, tonsils, thymus, leukocytes, white blood cells, bone marrow, spleen, lymphocytes, including B cells and T cells. 5. Lymphatic system. Cervical lymph nodes, thymus, right lymphatic duct, cistern, chyli, palatine, tonsil, axillary lymph nodes, spleen, thoracic duct, inguinal lymph nodes. The lymphatic system includes lymph nodes, lymph ducts and lymph vessels, and also plays a role in the body's defenses. Its main job is to make and move lymph, a clear fluid that contains white blood cells which help the body fight infection. The lymphatic system also removes excess lymph fluid from bodily tissues and returns it to the blood. Lymphatic system terminologies. Lymphatic system consist of a number of parts: cervical lymph nodes, thymus. Right lymphatic duct. Cystine chyli. Palatine tonsil. Axillary lymph nodes. Spleen. Thoracic duct. Inguinal lymph nodes. 6 muscular system. 650 muscles. 3 types of muscle: skeletal muscle, smooth muscle and cardiac muscle. The body's muscular system consists of about 650 muscles that aid in movement, blood flow and other bodily functions. There are 3 types of muscle: skeletal muscle, which is connected to bone and helps with voluntary movement; smooth muscle, which is found inside organs and helps to move substances through organs; and cardiac muscle, which is found in the heart and helps pump blood. Muscular system terminologies. Muscular system consist of a number of parts. Abductor digiti minimi, foot. Abductor digiti minimi, hand. Abductor hallucis. Abductor pollicis brevis. Abductor pollicis longus. Adductor brevis. Adductor hallucis. Adductor longus. Adductor magnus. Adductor pollicis. Incanuus. Articularis cubiti. Articularis genu. Aeroepigloticus. Aerojordanicus. Auricularis. Biceps brachii. Biceps femoris. Brachialis. Brachioradialis. Buccinator. Bulbus pungisus. Constrictor of pharynx inferior. Constrictor of pharynx middle. Constrictor of pharynx superior. Coracobrachialis. Corrugator supercilii. Cremaster. Cricothyroid. Dartos. Deep transverse peroneal. Deltoid. Depressor angulioris. Depressor labii inferioris. Diaphragm. Digastric. Digastric, anterior view. Erector spini spinless. Erector spini iliocostalis. Erector spini longissimus. Extensor carpi radialis brevis. Extensor carpi radialis longus. Extensor carpi ulnaris. Extensor digiti minimi, hand. Extensor digitorum, hand. Extensor digitorum brevis, foot. Extensor digitorum longus, foot. Extensor hallucis longus. Extensor indicis. Extensor pollicis brevis. Extensor pollicis longus. External oblique abdominis. Flexor carpi radialis. Flexor carpi ulnaris. Flexor digiti minimi brevis, foot. Flexor digiti minimi brevis, hand. Flexor digitorum brevis. Flexor digitorum longus, foot. Flexor digitorum profundus. Flexor digitorum superficialis. Flexor hallucis brevis. Flexor hallucis longus. Flexor pollicis brevis. Flexor pollicis longus. Frontalis. Gastrocnemius. Gemellus inferior. Gemellus superior. Genioglossus. Geniohyoid. Gluteus maximus. Gluteus medius. Gluteus minimus. Gracilis. Hyoglossus. Iliacus. Inferior oblique. Inferior rectus. Infraspinatus. Intercostals external. Intercostals innermost. Intercostals internal. Internal oblique abdominis. Interossi dorsal of hand. Interossi dorsal of foot. Interossi palmar of hand. Interossi plantar of foot. Interspinals. Intertransversarii. Intrinsic muscles of tongue. Ischiocavernosus. Lateral cricoarytenoid. Lateral tragoid. Lateral rectus. Latissimus dorsi. Levator angulioris. Levator anacocciguus. Levator aniliococciguus. Levator anapubococciguous. Levator anapuborectalis. Levator anapubovaginalis. Levator labii superioris. Levator labii superioris. Alicnazi. Levator palpebrae superioris. Levator scapulae. Levator villi palatini. Levators costarum. Longus capitis. Longus colli. Lumbricals of foot, 4. Lumbricals of hand. Masseter. Medial tragoid. Medial rectus. Mentless. Muvuli. Mylohyoid. Nasalis. Oblique arytenoid. Obliquus capitis inferior. Obliquus capitis superior. Obturator externus. Obturator internus, A. Obturator internus, B. Omohyoid. Opponens digiti minimi, hand. Opponens pollicis. Orbicularis oculi. Orbicularis oris. Palatoglossus. Palatopharyngeus. Palmaris brevis. Palmaris longus. Pectinuus. Pectoralis major. Pectoralis minor. Peroneus brevis. Peroneus longus. Peroneus tertius. Piriformis, A. Piriformis, B. Plantaris. Platysma. Popliteus. Posterior cricoarytenoid. Procerus. Pronator quadratus. Pronator teres. Psoas major. Psoas minor. Pyramidalis. Quadratus femoris. Quadratus lumborum. Quadratus plantae. Rectus abdominis. Rectus capitis anterior. Rectus capitis lateralis. Rectus capitis posterior major. Rectus capitis posterior minor. Rectus femoris. Rhomboid major. Rhomboid minor. Risorius. Salpingopharyngeus. Sartorius. Scalenus anterior. Scalenus medius. Scalenus minimus. Scalenus posterior. Semimembranosus. Semitendinosus. Serratus anterior. Serratus posterior inferior. Serratus posterior superior. Soleus. Sphincter anus. Sphincter urethra. Splenius capitis. Splenius cervicis. Stapedius. Sternocleidomastoid. Sternohyoid. Sternothyroid. Styloglossus. Stylohyoid. Stylohyoid, anterior view. Stylopharyngeus. Subclavius. Subcostalis. Subscapularis. Superficial transverse. Perineum. Superior oblique. Superior rectus. Supinator. Supraspinatus. Temporalis. Tempora parietlis. Tensor fasciae lata. Tensor tympani. Tensor villi palatini. Teres major. Teres minor. Thyroarytenoid and vocalis. Thyroepigloticus. Thyrohyoid. Tibialis anterior. Tibialis posterior. Transverse arytenoid. Transversospineless multifidus. Transversospineless rotators. Transversospineless semispineless. Transversus abdominis. Transversus thoracis. Trapezius. Triceps. Vastus intermedius. Vastus lateralis. Vastus medialis. Zygomaticus major. Zygomaticus minor. Laceration. Muscle cramp. Muscular dystrophy. 7 nervous system. Peripheral nervous, nerves, central nervous system, brain and spinal cord. The nervous system controls both voluntary action, like conscious movement, and involuntary actions, like breathing, and sends signals to different parts of the body. The central nervous system includes the brain and spinal cord. The peripheral nervous system consists of nerves that connect every other part of the body to the central nervous system. Nervous system terminologies. Nervous system consists of a number of parts. Nerve. Central nervous system. Dura mater. Materarachnoid. Subarachnoid space. Cerebrospinal fluid. Spinal cord. Cauda equina. Peripheral nervous system. Cerebral nerves. Spinal nerves. Efferent den. Afferent den. Autonomic nervous system. Sympathetic system. Parasympathetic system. Brachial plexus. Musculocutaneous nerve. Radial nerve. Median nerve. Iliohypogastric nerve. Genitofemoral nerve. Abdominal nerve. Ulnar nerve. Common peroneal nerve. Deep peroneal nerve. Superficial peroneal nerve. Brain. Cerebellum. Spinal cord. Intercostal nerves. Subcostal nerve. Lumbar plexus. Sacral plexus. Formal nerve. Pudendal nerve. Sciatic nerve. Muscular branches of femoral nerve. Saphenous nerve. Tibial nerve. The brain terminologies. Cerebral hemisphere. Dencephalon. Cerebellum. Brainstem. Midbrain. Pons. Medulla oblongata. Visual system, eyes, terminologies. Lateral rectus muscle. Sclera. Choroid. Retina. Optic disc. Optic nerve. Artery. Medial rectus muscle. Transverse, horizontal, section of eyeball. Ciliary body. Cornea. Lens. Anterior cavity. Iris muscle. Pupil. Posterior cavity. Conjunctiva. Black eye. Color blindness. Eye disorder. Eyes, optic. Myopia. Listening system, ears. Outer ear. Middle ear. Eardrum. Inner ear. Semicircular, canals. Cochlea. Auditory canal. Astrakhan tube. Spastic colon. Coma. Concussion. Convulsion. Disability. Epilepsy. Hemiplegia. Massage. Memory loss. Migraine. Neurosis. Optic nerve. Paralysis. Poliomyelitis. Rehabilitation. Sciatica. Skull fracture. Stroke. 8. Reproductive system. The male penis, testes which produce sperm. The female vagina, uterus and ovaries which produce eggs. The reproductive system allows humans to reproduce. The male reproductive system includes the penis and the testes which produce sperm. The female reproductive system consists of the vagina, the uterus and the ovaries which produce eggs. During conception, a sperm cell fuses with an egg cell which creates a fertilized egg that implants and grows in the uterus. The male reproductive system. Reproductive system terminologies. Reproductive system consists of a number of parts. 1. The female reproductive system. Uterine tube. Ovary. Uterus. Vesicularine pouch. Vagina. Clitoris. Labium minus. Labium majus. Rectouterine pouch. Fornix. Cervix. Greater vestibular gland. 2. The male reproductive system. Pubic bone. Urinary bladder. Erectile tissue. Urethra. Glands. Penis. Epididymis. Scrotum. testis. Vas deferens. Ureter, from kidney. Rectum. Seminal vesicle. Prostate gland. An accessory gland. Abortion. Amenorrhea. Dysmenorrheal. Embryo. Endometriosis. Endometrium. Fertility. Fetus. Frigidity. Gestation. Hysterectomy. Menopause. Menorrhea. Menstrual cycle. Obstetric. Parturition. Pregnancy. Sterility, infertility. Tubal pregnancy. Umbilical cord. Vaccination. 9. Respiratory system. Nose, trachea, diaphragm and lungs. The respiratory system allows us to take in vital oxygen and expel carbon dioxide in a process we call breathing. It consists mainly of the trachea, the diaphragm and the lungs. Respiratory system terminologies. Respiratory system consists of a number of parts. Nasal cavity. Oral cavity. Epiglottis. Vocal cord. Trachea. Right lung. Upper lobe. Aorta. Middle lobe. Lower lobe. Pericardium. Pharynx. Larynx. Esophagus. Left lung. Diaphragm. Heart. Nasal cavity plus. Paranasal sinuses. Nostril. Carina of trachea. Bronchi. Right main bronchus. Left main, primary, bronchus. Bronchioles. Parietal pleura. Alveoli, tiny air sacs. Capillaries. Ribs. Asthma. Bronchial asthma. Dyspnea. Otorrhea. Pneumonia. Sinuses. Sleep apnea. Snoring. Suffocation. Tuberculosis, TB. Wheeze. Nose terminologies. Root. Bridge. Dorsum nasi. Lateral side wall. Alabama. Apex. Tip. Philtrum. Soft triangle. Columella. Frontal bone. Nasal bone. Septal cartilage. Major alar cartilage. 5 senses: sight, smell, taste, touch, hearing.